Hell is overflowing, and Satan is sending his dead to us. When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
Hey, this is Wolf from Armoury-Terrain, and you're probably sitting there behind your computer thinking, why the hell should I listen to this old fat guy tell me how to survive the zombie apocalypse? Well, simply it boils down to life experience. Why? Because I've got 25 years in the security industry where I've specialised in small team tactics and risk assessment. I've also been part of several think tanks planning for worst case scenarios. And what's worse than zombies? I mean, really. Things that these think tanks do is like say, hey, there's an oil refinery there. How can we attack it and make it go boom? And we'd go away and play the terrorist and come up with 8 or 9 scenarios on how would we attack it, while the other people would have to go, how do we stop them? So I know all about planning and strategy for such things. Okay, while I've never served in the Australian Defence Force, I have been a first responder. I've been a medical technician pulling people out of cars. I've been part of disaster management teams. Australia and guns is an interesting concept. We're not like the US where everybody has guns. But I was taught to shoot at 8 by my grandfather as soon as it was deemed I was big enough to hold a rifle properly. And I've had many, many years of survival training and outdoor training, mainly through Scouts, where I reached the qualification of Queen Scout, which is equivalent but better than the American Eagle Scout. There's a lot more involved in it. I've worn armour, I've fought with steel weapons, I've also worn ballistic plate for police training exercises and been shot at and shot and tasered and pepper sprayed and all those fun things that we do to train our police to deal with riots properly. And most importantly, since I blew my knee out a couple of years back, I've watched every zombie movie on YouTube. Yes, even the really, really bad ones. And I've sat down and worked out what they've done wrong, why they died, and what they should have done instead. Now, zombies, whether caused by drugs, disease, supernatural, or even alien attack, are bad news, like really bad news. But if you listen to what I'm going to tell you, you might just survive it. Now, this is the introduction video where I just tell you about myself, but some of the videos coming up in this series will include what to do on day 1. To stay or go, and the first 24 hours, what you should be doing. I'll also be doing a video on basic survival rules, another one on preparing your shelter, and making weapons and using weapons, and why guns are bad in this situation. No, I'm not anti-gun or anything like that, but I will give you the reasons in the video, including the fact that guns are fairly complicated bits of machinery. If you don't keep them clean properly, they tend to malfunction and either jam or blow your hand off. I've actually seen that happen a couple of times dealing with criminals with dodgy guns that didn't know how to clean them properly. It's a real shocker, that. Anyway, also they're really, really loud. And if zombies are attracted by noise, firing a gun might just have bought you a couple more seconds of life, but every zombie within earshot will now be heading towards you. I'm also going to talk about how to gather supplies, or as it's deemed, looting. Looting is bad, but in this sort of scenario where there is no rule of law and shit has hit the fan and the dead have risen, you do what you need to do to survive. Okay, no matter how good your shelter is, eventually the zombies will break in. It's just a fact of movie law and real life, I guess. So I'll be doing a video on what to do when that happens. I'll also talk about staying sane amongst the zombies and long-term survival. So that's 7 or 8 videos that'll be coming out in this series. So guys, this is important disclaimer. I'm talking about the movie zombies that are slow and shambling. I'm not talking about the disease zombies from 28 Days Later that run faster than anybody else. I'm not talking about the horde zombies from that horrible World War Z movie. If you get the chance to read the book is really, really cool. Movie's crap. And this is Wolf from Armoury-Terrain saying, keep your head and survive.